welcome back to Double Down University. I'm back with you guys with another NFL PrizePicks video. I know it's been a while since I've been up here. For those who know me, I am a barber, so it's kind of tough, especially with weekends and just the daily grind of, having appointments, things of that nature. And then I know this upcoming week with Thanksgiving is going to be crazy. But I will try to do my best to push out content and help you guys get some winners in. So let's start off with, I have 4 picks for you guys, but really essentially it's 3. If you guys watch any of my previous videos, you know that I'm big on hedging, and that's the way to long-term sustainable profit. So let's get into it. I have CJ Stroud over 19.5 fantasy score, as well as CJ Stroud over 22.5 passing completions. And I have Calvin Ridley over 47.5 receiving yards, and Josh Jacob over 16.5 rushing attempts. And I'm going to start off by just going through some of the games that I will be targeting, just looking at the spreads and the lines on the games, just to kind of give us a kind of better understanding of how the game should go. Now, granted, this is not always how the game will go, because we do see upsets week in and week out in the NFL, so nothing is really set in stone. This is just kind of just like a, I would say just kind of like a guideline to go off of. So like the first game I'm targeting is the Raiders versus the Dolphins. The Raiders are 13.5-point underdogs, but I think, in my opinion, if they're going to stick around, they have to be able to run the ball effectively to be able to keep the Dolphins on the sideline, or off their high-octane offense on the sideline. The next one is the Cardinals versus the Texans, and the Texans are 6-point favorites. So I like our standing there with that game, because it should be a tight game. It's under a possession or under 2 possession game. And then last but not least, what was our last prop? Calvin Ridley. So the Jacksonville versus the Tennessee Titans. That is another under 2 possession game at 6.5 line. So they think they should win by just at least a touchdown or maybe a little bit more to be able to cover. Now, granted, Tennessee can cover as well, so they can keep the game closer. So let's get into it. So Calvin Ridley, let's start off with Calvin Ridley. So Calvin Ridley, he is in a great spot against a Tennessee Titans defense that is horrible against the pass. And give me 1 second, let me pull this sheet over to my notes. So basically with him, Tennessee are 27th in pass DVOA, and they're actually 31st in DVOA versus a number 1 wide receiver. They allowed Olave, Keenan Allen, Josh Downs, Deontay Johnson, Amari Cooper, Mike Evans to clear 90 yards when they faced them. So all we need from him is 48 yards, which I think is feasible. And also, whenever he's coming off of a down game where he's had like 40 or so yards, he's had pretty good bounce back spots. Let me see if I can scroll down and show you guys. So 30 yards, 30 yards, 38 yards, and he bust out for 122. And then he also had a 5-yard gain, which is crazy, against New Orleans, and came back with an 82-yard gain. So he's coming off a down game against San Fran. If you guys watch that was just a pure, just what I call belt to ass type of moment, where they got whooped from the beginning to the end of the game. So yeah, this is a really good spot for him. And then also the 2 corners that they have, the starting corners, they're ranked 58th and 77th in coverage grades, which is not good for starting corners. So he should have his work cut out for him. He should have a nice day today as well. So I like his receiving yards. And then going back to starting off with CJ Stroud, the reason I like his over 22.5 completions is mainly because Arizona are the top 2, or within the top 2 of zone coverage teams. So they play zone the second highest rate of any team in the NFL. So I really like that, because with zones, your receivers can sit in zones to be able to get QB friendly throws, to be able to sit into like a void in coverage, to be able to just get either, whether it's short yardage, long yardage. So I favor completions more in zone coverage, and more so passing yards and man. And same thing like how I described it to you guys, if you guys been watching my videos along this season, just like the difference between man and zone, and how you select props and things of that nature. So, and then also, Houston have scored on 50% of its possessions when Stroud doesn't take a sack, and then Arizona allows teams to reach the end zone more frequently than any other team in the NFL, as well as their 28th in pressure rate. So they're pressuring at just 31%, which is not good at all. and as well as they're 28th in DVOA against the run. So they're not good against the run. So what that basically means is that if they don't get pressure early on in like first and second down, they're going to have a lot of third and shorts where they can convert by just running the ball, getting a couple yards, and then setting Stroud up for some easy touchdown throws in the high red zone. So I really like Stroud in this spot. He's had some monster games, and I feel like he is the clear favorite to win Offensive Rookie of the Year over any other player. I know Bijan was in consideration earlier in the year, but I think he's kind of took this award by storm. Especially the last couple weeks with those just fourth quarter comeback drives to be able to win it and show that he's able to and capable to lead his team to victory no matter how much time is left on the clock. So I really, really like CJ Stroud in this matchup today. And then we're moving on to last but not least, Josh Jacobs. So Josh Jacobs, he has a kind of weird matchup against the Miami Dolphins. So the Miami Dolphins, they are really, really strong against the run, as they basically allow only 3.9 yards per rush attempt. And then they also only allow 27 rushes per game. But Vegas has rushed the ball 24 times a game, and also have gotten 83 yards, which is 30th, which is one of the worst. So the reason why I'm targeting attempts, because now granted, Jacobs is capable of breaking one and taking one to the house and clearing his yards as well, but I'm more concerned with attempts because the Raiders, let me see if I can pull it up. So the Raiders fired their coach, Josh McDaniels, and ever since they fired him, Antonio Pierce has taken over. And if you guys can see where the two games that I highlighted, so the last two games, and then also they've had a rookie quarterback in there as well, so they don't want to kind of put too much on his plate because they, because he's a rookie, so they want to kind of lean on the run and then pass off of the run. So as you can see, 2 weeks ago he ran the ball 26 times against the Giants, and then against the Jets last week he ran the ball 27 times. So he cleared his yards prop in both, but if you go to his yards, see if I can find his yards per carry. I don't think it's going to show me that yards per carry. I know they have yards per target. I don't see his yards per carry, but if he's getting 26 rushes, let's do some little quick math. So he had 98 yards, right? And it took him 26 carries to get there. So he averaged around 3.7 yards per carry 2 weeks ago, and then he had 116 last week, and we're going to divide that by 27. Yeah, so around 3.7, 4.2. That's not good for a running back. You kind of want anywhere like high 4.5s to 5+ yards a carry for a running back. That's excellent. So he's pretty average at that, and their offensive line is not the greatest. So I kind of want to just stick to attempts because all he needs to do is just get 5 or 6 carries per quarter, and he should be able to go over the 16.5 line. So I really, really like Josh Jacobs. But another thing, too, looking at their numbers with Miami, is early on in the season, they had a lot of, like, blowouts. Like, if you guys remember the Denver game where they had put up all those points, where as though if a team is down by so many points, they're going to basically pretty much cancel out the run and have to throw the ball the rest of the way. So a lot of their numbers are kind of deceiving in that aspect of it. And they don't really tell the whole story with the Dolphins. So, like, I mean, granted, they're good as a team and they're good, stopping the run, but I don't think, like, teams have actually forced them to stop the run because they've been able to get off to these quick starts and hot starts early on. So that can kind of, skew a line or kind of paint a different picture on, some of these stats and stuff like that. So I really, really like Josh Jacobs' rushing attempts. So I go back over them. I have CJ Stroud over 19.5 fantasy score, as well as CJ Stroud over 22.5 pass completions, and Calvin Ridley over 47.5 receiving yards, as well as Josh Jacobs over 16.5 rushing attempts. I appreciate you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. And best of luck. Hopefully we sweep this slate and go undefeated. Until next time, I'll see you guys next time.